Hello everyone and welcome back. The 2024 Tour de France route has been announced. Let's take a look at it. Florence to Nice, 3,492 kilometers, 52,320 meters of elevation. I'm going to take you through each week and take you through some of the key stages for next year's race. Before we go into looking at the Tour de France route for next year, if you like the video and like the content you see, please hit that like button. If you want to see more, please subscribe and help this channel grow. I'd love to see and talk to more cycling fans. Let me know what you think of the tour route as well in the comments down below. So the first week starts off with two punchy days in Italy. You've got Florence to Rimini. I don't expect much GC action on day one. I expect them to look after the riders, make sure like Pogačar, Vingegaard, Roglic, and Evenepoel don't crash, don't get stuck behind any splits. It's a puncher's day, it's not a sprinter's day. Day two to Bologna, I think, again, in a similar fashion. Two times up San Luca, which could draw out the GC race, certainly Pogačar, but I don't expect it to. I think he needs to go a bit calmer into the first week, especially the first couple of days. First chance for the sprinters into Turin on stage 3, while on stage 4 we have the first big mountain. The Col du Galibier, we all know it from Briançon. It's got the Lauterre, it's got the Galibier and the stone descent finish into Valois. I don't think it will, but it could draw out a GC battle. I expect some outside GC riders like Pickup, Rodriguez, Mass, those sorts of riders to attack. Why not Pickup in yellow on day 4 of the race? Stage 5 and 6 are sprints. Stage 7 is the second GC day with a 25k flat individual time trial. I think one of the big four will lose time on this stage. Pogačar, Vingegaard, Roglic or Evenepoel. One of them will lose big time on that day. Stage 1, 2, 3, 7, 8 is a sprint. And the week 1 finishes with arguably the best stage of week 1. A gravel stage around Troyes. 32k of proper gravel. Van der Poel carnage, Pogačar trying to follow him to get time. Wout van Aert having to look after Jonas Vingegaard, who could struggle on that. We don't know. We haven't seen him on gravel yet. And Remco's struggled on the 2021 Giro gravel sectors. Will he do that again, or was that the build-up of the fatigue of not racing? All in all, a decent week 1. The time trial could be longer. I like the gravel stage. I don't see the Galibier doing much, but a nice week 1. On to week 2, and we start with a flat stage, so generally a sprint, although back in 2013 the sprint stage to Saint-Amand-Montrond was windy. It was the day Alberto Contador put a minute 20 something into Chris Froome, and we could do with that again. We could do with that. Breakaway day to the hilly top finish in Lorraine the next day. I don't expect much GC action there. Again, I think Pogačar needs to save his legs a bit more. Sprint stages 12 and 13, and then we head into 2 big days in the Alps. First day in the Pyrenees, sorry. First day is a mountaintop finish to Pla d'Adet. They have the Tourmalet, they have the Hoquet d'Assassin, and then they finish on Pla d'Adet. Rafa Majka's won there. We've had brilliant finishes up there in the past. 10.6k, an average of 7.9. But early on in that first third, there's a really difficult section where you could really put the pressure on if you go early. Day later, stage 15, you've got Plateau de Bailly. The stage could have been a lot harder for me, but 15.8 kilometers and at a 7.9% average is a hard final. Contador has won up there. We saw that in 2007. Vanander in the headwind on 2011 won there. It's not as hard as I thought and hoped, but it's a big GC day. For week 2, it's a sort of transition week as they head to the Pyrenees. The Pyrenees stages are great. It's good to see 2 hard days in the Pyrenees. Let's see what week 3 will bring. Third week starts with a sprint / breakaway day to Nimes, and then you've got another breakaway punchy day to Super Delvaux. Again, I don't see it happening, and with the stages to come in the final weekend, I think Pogačar especially and Evenepoel needs to save their legs. Hilly day to Barcelonette before a double mountaintop finish day before the final TT. You have the Côte d'Ivoire, the Bonnet, and then the finish at Isola 2000, 16.1 at 7.1% average. Very difficult stage this. This is one of the days I think Vingegaard could really make it hard, like we saw this year on the Col de la Loze. It could be a brutal day if they want it to be a brutal day. The final mountain stage of the race is a summit finish to the Col de la Colombe, 15.7 at 7.1. They've got the Turini and the Colmane before that. I think it's going to be another hard day, and that fatigue resistance throughout the 3 weeks will really come into play. The final TT has Vingegaard's name written all over it. It's a hilly 34k TT. And just like we saw at this year's Tour, I think the fact that Pogačar knows the roads won't make much of a difference. All to play for though. Really hope it's all to play for going into that final TT. So my overall view on this tour is that it is a better balance between Pogačar and Vingegaard. Last year it was heavily favoured to Vingegaard. This year it's a little bit different. You've got days where Pogačar could raid. You've got the gravel day that if he follows Van der Poel could really cause some carnage. But then you've also got a back-loaded race that will suit Vingegaard. You've got Plata Day, Plata Dubai straight back-to-back. You've got the 2 back-to-back summit finishes in the Alps. They could really suit Vingegaard. So it's really nice little balance. Where do Roglic and Evenepoel fit in? They fit in pretty well as well. I mean, Remco will struggle with the gravel. Roglic hopefully will be able to stay on his bike and we can see him at his best as well. It's a really nice balance between the 4 riders. I still think it heavily favours Jonas Vingegaard. I think that hard final 3 days will probably seal it for him. But it's a better route. Sprinters, they're not going to look forward to this race, particularly the final. They've got a very hard first week to try and get through before they even start to compete for that green jersey. Will many of them finish it? We don't know. One thing I'm hoping for is that Cav breaks the record, obviously. My final view is that I like the gravel stage. I like that they've got a lot of gravel. It's better than the Giro stage of gravel. But it does lack a longer flat TT. I don't think 25k is long enough for a flat TT. It needs to be at least 35 plus. So there we have the tour route. Thank you very much for pulling up with me and watching. If you like the video, please hit that like button and subscribe to see more. Throughout the winter, I'll be talking a lot more about cyclocross and my own training. But I look forward to seeing you at the next video. Thank you.